In quiet fields and forgotten ruins, something small wanders. Scaled and feathered, seemingly harmless at a glance. Standing a few feet tall, you see it pecking at the ground. Strange, sure, but not exactly threatening. You begin to approach, but before you know it, it's nipped you with its beak. And suddenly, your body won't move. Your breath catches, your limbs stiffen, and before you can even begin to understand what's happening, you're not running, you can't fight. You've been turned to stone. Alright class, let's get settled in. Open your manuals to page 42. Today we're studying a creature that proves that size means nothing when it comes to danger. The Cockatrice. Cockatrices are small territorial monsters most commonly found in grasslands, ruins, basically temperate sorts of places. Not always though. They've also been found in certain caves underground. Believe it or not, they've even been seen inhabiting areas of the elemental plane of Earth. Above ground, they've been known to gravitate towards more eye-catching places like ruins and secluded farms, and make them their home. Supposedly, this is due to their need to show off to their potential mates. You see, female cockatrices are exceptionally rare, so when a male finds a potential mate, they attempt to project their status by keeping an impressive roost, usually decorated with shiny objects they've acquired, and they're fiercely defensive of the places they consider their home. But while they may not look threatening, that assumption has ended more than a few adventuring careers before they even began. Hopefully by the end of this lesson, you'll understand why even experienced adventurers don't underestimate these creatures. At a glance, the cockatrice is almost comical. Roughly 3 feet tall, its body is covered in rough mottled feathers, while its head and neck more closely resemble that of a reptile. Its eyes are sharp and beady, its beak short and jagged, and its wings, though present, are rarely strong enough for sustained flight, and resemble those of a bat more so than any avian species. It's an odd combination, to say the least. And if you're simply expecting something the size of a rooster, you might actually be taken off guard. In fact, they're almost twice that size. Part bird, part lizard, and entirely unnatural. But what truly defines the cockatrice isn't its appearance, it's what happens if it touches you. The cockatrice possesses a terrifying ability, petrification. With a single peck, a scratch, even prolonged contact, their victim begins to turn to stone. Now, unlike some creatures whose gaze alone can petrify, the cockatrice requires physical contact, which on paper might sound like a limitation, and it is, but barely, because the cockatrice are aggressive, territorial, and surprisingly bold for their size. And due to their lack of intelligence, most anything will get them worked up. They will approach you, they will test you, and if given the opportunity, they will strike. Imagine for a moment that your party is traveling along an overgrown path just outside of a ruined settlement. It's quiet, too quiet perhaps, but nothing immediately dangerous presents itself. Then you see it, a small creature pecking at the ground just ahead. Your first instinct? Ignore it. Your second? Maybe get a closer look. You've been doing this adventuring thing for a few months now, and you know you can't be too careful. After all, it's just a bird, isn't it? Your fighter steps forward, slowly, cautiously. But the creature doesn't flee. In fact, it seems to stand its ground. All of this is your first mistake. The cockatrice tilts its head, studying you, watching with its beady eyes. And then without warning, it lunges, much faster than you'd expect. Its beak strikes exposed skin, a hand, a wrist, anywhere it can reach. At first, it doesn't even hurt that much. But then, something feels wrong. Your fingers stiffen, your arm grows heavy. You try to pull back, but your body doesn't respond the way it should. The skin begins to harden, turning gray and lifeless, and panic sets in. Now your party reacts, weapons drawn, spells at the ready, but the cockatrice doesn't retreat far. It circles, looking for another opening, another mistake, and as you struggle, your movement slows, your body betraying you. You begin to understand the real danger. This was never a battle of strength. It's a race, and you're losing. Now, should you find yourself in such a scenario, what can you expect? First and foremost, understand that the cockatrice's petrification is not immediate. In many cases, it begins as a gradual process, giving victims a small window of time to react. But that window closes quickly, especially in the heat of combat. The effect typically starts at the point of contact and spreads outward. Limbs become rigid, movement becomes sluggish, leaving you feeling restrained, and eventually, total petrification. There is one saving grace, however. Their petrification typically only lasts for 24 hours. So if a few of your party members end up getting turned to stone, but you still end up winning the battle, there's a chance you can wait out the worst of it, assuming there's no other danger in the area. The second thing to understand is that the cockatrice are rarely alone. They're often found in small groups, nests, or clusters, particularly in areas where food is plentiful, which means that one small, harmless creature may not be by itself, so keep your wits about you, because this is where things can get truly dangerous. While one cockatrice is pretty manageable, 2 or 3 can overwhelm even a prepared group, especially if they're the ones to strike first. As for their origins, like many creatures in our world, the truth is unclear. I do have to wonder though, since they exist on the elemental plane of Earth and have the ability to turn you to stone, is it possible that this is where they originated from? It would be quite a strange origin for a creature that can fly, but stranger things have happened. Furthermore, their ability to petrify doesn't only apply to the material plane. While they can't see into the ethereal, if there's a ghost giving them a hard time, their beaks are able to turn them into stone as well. So all of this tells me there might be more to the origin of these creatures than meets the eye. What we do know is that they persist. They exist in the same way that you and I do, and they continue to turn the unwary into lifeless statues. So what can one do to maximize their chances of survival? Well, I'd suggest remembering a few key rules. Rule number 1, never underestimate small creatures. If it looks unnatural, it probably is, and in our line of work, probably is more than enough reason to keep your distance, or at least stay on guard. Rule number 2, avoid contact at all costs. This isn't a creature you want getting close. There isn't even much benefit to forcing the issue. Unless you're there to harvest them for components, it's not like you're gonna find your next weapon after slaying a cockatrice, so maintain your distance. Rule number 3, stay aware of your surroundings. This one really should go without saying, but it's always good to keep in mind. And if you see one, assume that there are more, because there usually are. And finally, rule number 4, don't hesitate. If a cockatrice engages you, end the encounter quickly, because remember, the longer it goes on, the worse your odds become. And there you have it, the cockatrice, a small, unassuming creature capable of ruining your day with a single touch. Proof that in a world like ours, danger doesn't always announce itself with claws and fangs. Sometimes, it looks like a chicken. So if you're ever traveling through a quiet field or the ruins of a forgotten place and you see something small watching you, don't try to get closer and don't try to study it. And whatever you do, don't let it touch you. Thanks for listening. Alright, that's the end of this entry. If you enjoyed today's lesson, make sure to like the video and I'll see you for the next one. Until then, be safe, take care, and happy trails.